Okay, Lucas, is Mike Zimmer's signature move this A-gap blitz where he's bringing two linebackers and he's forcing the center to make a decision? Do I go left? Do I go right? And that's where they get that pressure.
I mean, that's definitely one of his MOs, and I think if I am informed correctly, he kind of really brought that to prominence in the NFL. And I mean, it's a really good package, but they're coached well, but they got two really good players to execute that package, and Kendricks and Barr. So it's definitely a tough thing to pick up. We just got to be on our details and know our assignments and communicate.
Bill Huber.
Hey, Lucas, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. You didn't face Pierce the last game. Actually, I don't think you faced him last year either. So what's the challenge that he brings?
He's a big body in the middle, but he moves really well, and he's pretty athletic for how stout he is. And I think he adds an extra element of kind of toughness in there with him and Tomlinson. I mean, those are two of the bigger guys we'll face inside, and they play well off each other, and he fits well in that scheme, and just a really solid player. He reminds me of a really good nose they had there a few years back in Joseph. So, got to be ready to play hard against him all 60 minutes.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Lucas, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so there was a game, I think, Bakhtiari's rookie year, and it was going to be really, really cold. And Josh Sitton said, he said to Bakhtiari, "Hey, if I'm wearing sleeves, then you're wearing sleeves. I don't want to be the only one." Sunday's forecast is obviously really, really cold. What's your stance on sleeves as an offensive lineman?
I'm definitely an old school cat who's, I guess, in the new school of NFL, but I didn't wear sleeves at practice today, and I don't think I've worn sleeves yet, but I guess I kind of half cheat with those elbow sleeves. But I mean, whether it's 100 degrees or 0 degrees, I'm gonna wear the same thing. I'm very routine based, so I'll be wearing what I've worn the last whatever games. So that'll be no sleeves.
Thanks.
Bill Huber, do you have another?
I don't, Eric. I'm sorry. I forgot to take my hand down.
Jason Wilde.
Hey, Lucas, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Hey, you told us that great thing about the deposits in the bank and whatever last time or a couple times ago. Look, I know you and the quarterback are tight. I'm just curious, since you're usually blocking people, you don't get to see exactly all the things he's doing in real time. You usually see it on film afterwards. What's it been like? You know how good he was last year, but what's it been like to watch him this year? And have you been even more impressed or differently impressed with what he's done this season?
I mean, I'm impressed by him daily. I think that's what makes players of his caliber so great and make everything so effortless. In my opinion, is he does stuff like in our walkthrough today. He did a few things that he's done like 2 or 3 games ago, and he just brings it up, and he's always thinking like 2 or 3 steps ahead. So when you get to the games, and like especially versus the Vikings, referencing earlier some of their blitz packages, like he's already thinking a few steps ahead and working through things, and that's what makes him, and it brings everyone up. I mean, I think it's the greatest compliment you can give somebody is when they make everyone better around him, and he definitely does that. He makes you a better player, better person, and it's pretty cool to be a part of. 2 years in a row, starting for him consistently, and last year at guard, but this year at center, and just the expectations he has for both the offensive line and myself, I think raises all our standards and makes us better players.
Wes from Packers.com.
Hey, Lucas, over the years, you've been able to share a room with a lot of very interesting, like, veteran acquisitions, whether it was Jari, I think in 17, or, Jared, certainly, Ricky came along too. Well, what's Dennis kind of added to that room this year, and just what's it been like kind of getting to know his personality, in these last few months?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely been 4 for 4 on veteran additions. They've all been fantastic men. So that's the best thing that I'll say about all of them is as people they're amazing. But Dennis is such a pro's pro. Like he knows how to kind of keep it light during the long days, but at practice turn it on and work through everything and make it feel game-like. His personality is very even-keeled, especially, thrust in the role that he's been to on the field. He's just really good at noticing the little nuances in a game, whether it's down in distance, whether it's, some percentages that he remembers or certain fronts. And that's what you get when a guy's played as much ball as he has at such a high level. He can bring so many things to the room, whether it's, on the field or off. But yeah, he's been a great addition.
Bill Huber, go ahead.
Hey, Lucas. I have no idea what's going to happen with Dave, and I'm not fishing for an answer from you about Dave, but what is your level of confidence that if Yosh ends up being the guy for the next month and a half, that he's good enough to get you guys where you want to get to?
100%.
Why's that?
Because look what he's done so far. That's what this league is about. It's about who you've gone against and what you've done in certain situations. And every time Yosh has stepped up to the plate, and I have nothing but the utmost confidence in him. The way he approaches everything, the way he does everything, there's zero doubt in my mind that kid's going to be ready to play.
We're going to do two more. Mark Daniels.
Hey, Lucas, you got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Good to see you again. You got a fourth rounder on one side, a second-year guy on the other. You're throwing in kind of mid-season to take over, full-time. How long did it take to kind of get that mesh that we always seem to talk about with an O-line with you three in the interior?
As much as everyone likes to say that it's seamless, there was definitely a few games of myself settling in there and adjusting to those guys. But, I feel like these last few weeks we put some good stuff on tape, whether, whoever's judging it from inside our building, we feel pretty confident with what we've been doing and getting better. And I think that's what's, allowed us to work together so well is we don't settle for just getting the job done. We're trying to get better every day and work on the things that we're doing well or work on the things we're not doing well. But yeah, a credit to Royce and what he's done in his first year, because it's not easy to start for a whole year. Like I didn't, start to my fifth year in the league for as long as he did. And so credit to him, and John's been a pro since day one. And of course he got to see a NFL career from a first-hand view with his dad. But both those guys have done everything that you could ask for them so far.
Last one, Jason Wilde.
Hey, Lucas, I don't mean to keep stealing your deposits thing, even though I used it with the girls. It's just such a good thing. I also am not – I don't think I'm smarter than you, so I'm not going to try and trick you into saying something about Dave. But, you have to make deposits in everybody's account, right? And I know you care about Dave. He's a happy-go-lucky guy, and he's always being funny and whatever. But I can't imagine this has been easy for him these last several weeks. Just knowing him like you do and being his friend, how's he holding up, and what have you tried to do to kind of help him through as he's been waiting for this to work out and get on the field?
I think it's just like anyone who's in his position. You try to be positive. That's kind of what I try to be to all my teammates. It's just as positive and upbeat. But even if it's something as small as just asking his opinion on things, so he feels like he's still coaching us, because he's the best left tackle in football when he's healthy, and anytime you can get his input on something, it's valuable. So there's that, and it's encouragement, but he is resilient. Like he is. I feel like a lot of young kids say this, but he's built different. Like he truly is. His mentality to maximize everything that he's been God-given is incredible, and then he takes it even further. Just when you think that he's at the pinnacle, he goes even further. So there's no doubt that D-Bach, whenever that is, he'll immediately return to that level. But just trying to keep him plugged in and keep asking him questions or listen to his advice, because he's he's still on the sidelines with us. He's still in practice with us. He's still in meetings with us. So it's, we're fortunate to look at it almost like having, a fourth coach in the room with Steno, Buckus, Zetz, and himself. So it's definitely an asset if you're willing to look at it that way.